RetroDaze.
A lot of the time, nostalgia tends to galvanize around people, places, and things that are no longer around. Take our recent video about the video rental store. There may be a few shops scattered around the world, and you can still find old VHS tapes at the flea market, but the experience of going to an actual video rental store to get a new release is largely gone for most of us. That creates a longing, not only for the experience itself, but for a time when that experience was possible.
That's perhaps why, in relation, our collective nostalgia for going to the movies doesn't quite hit the same peaks. Comparing it to yet another recent video, we can see similarities between camping and going to a theater. Both activities are still possible, even if they aren't 100% the same as they used to be. Even so, those of us who grew up going to the movies in the 70s, 80s, and 90s know that it was a unique experience that can't be perfectly recreated in the 2020s unless you subscribe to a particular YouTube channel known for taking such trips into the past. That's right, we're again using our magic time machine that not only transports us to the past, but deposits you in your childhood self. So strap in and don't be alarmed by the sudden appearance of jelly shoes on your feet, big crunchy hair atop your head, or Frankie Says Relax on your t-shirt. You open your eyes to a beautiful sight, the marquee of your local movie theater. There are others bustling around you, some staring up at the list of movies, others forming lines at the ticket booth. And hey, look who's with you. It's little me wearing my Atari hat and Pac-Man fanny pack, Tiny Tony dressed like Freddy Krueger for some weird reason, adolescent Alyssa wearing a Nickelodeon shirt and neon everything, young Jimmy dressed like Tom Cruise from Top Gun, and producer Tony wearing an all-denim ensemble. That's right, the entire RetroDaze crew decided to stow away in the time machine for this journey. And I think you'll agree, there hasn't been a crew this, cool since the Monster Squad. The movie list on the Theater Marquee seems almost too good to be true. Because, sure, we could have blasted back to a specific year, say 1987, to find movies like The Lost Boys, RoboCop, Predator, and Full Metal Jacket all playing at the same time, or we could have hit 1989 to find Batman, Ghostbusters 2, Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, and Field of Dreams. But don't forget, our time machine is magic, so why not enter an alternate reality where all of those previous movies are playing simultaneously alongside The Goonies, Star Wars, Beetlejuice, The Terminator, Die Hard, Big, Who Framed Roger Rabbit, The Thing, and every other film you'd want to see. Not that we could see them all in a single night, but you gotta admit, that'd be one epic marquee. While we're trying to decide on a movie, we decide to hit the adjacent 7-Eleven to buy some extra snacks for the movie. Producer Tony straightens his denim jacket and says, "I don't know, you guys, we're not supposed to bring outside food into the theater." Adolescent Alyssa laughs, "Scaredy cat." "Am not," Tony replies. Tiny Tony brandishes his Freddy Krueger glove. "Then prove it." Our little gang of miscreants agree, movie theater snacks can be expensive. We'll still hit the concession stand anyway, but it never hurts to come prepared. In the convenience mart, we pack our arms tight with anything that will fit in our pockets. We grab a few candy bars like Bar None, Score, and Whatchamacallit. Young Jimmy removes his aviators to see the selection of beef jerky a little better, and then grabs some Slim Jims. Well, me, I go for Fun Dip and a box of Nerds. The hot dogs and nachos call out to us, so we purchase big bite hot dogs to eat as we walk back to the theater.
A brand new all-beef, fresh grilled hot dog is coming to 7-Eleven.
I must have lost your...
Hot dogs? Introducing the 7-Eleven Big Bite, made by Oscar Mayer.
On the way, we stuff the purchased items in various pockets in our best attempt at hiding the illicit materials from the prying eyes of undercover theater cops, or so we imagine. We decide to see Batman, then queue up. There's a sizable line as it gets closer to the popular Friday evening showtimes, but after a few minutes, we make it to the booth and purchase our tickets. Inside, the overwhelming smell of movie theater popcorn hits our senses, and we almost topple over from the pure bliss of it.
Wouldn't some hot buttered popcorn hit the spot right now? Extra fluffy, extra big kernels of it pop to perfection, then drenched with the golden goodness of pure sweet creamery butter. Can't you just taste it? We heat the container extra high, but you better buy 2 more for the rest of the family. Piping hot, golden buttered popcorn at the refreshment center right now.
The lobby itself has a particular atmosphere all its own. It feels a little like a roller rink or bowling alley with similar types of carpets, busy with neon images. The interior of the lobby is dark, too, imbuing the surroundings with extra allure. The backlit concessions menu, neon popcorn signs, arcade cabinets, and movie title marquees stand out in the dim interior like a mini Las Vegas, beckoning our young selves to indulge in the surrounding entertainment and food. We relent and stampede excitedly to the arcade area. They only have a few cabinets here, but it's plenty to keep us occupied for the next half an hour while we wait for our movie to start seating. And luckily, just like the movie selection, the arcades exist on a timeline all their own, mixing 70s, 80s, and 90s favorites. We immediately commandeer that elusive 6-player cabinet for X-Men, the arcade game. It's almost unheard of to have that kind of multiplayer experience, and this is the one nearby venue with the extra large version of the game. We quickly skip past the opening credits where all the characters have that creepy smile plastered on their faces and get right to the action. Now, go and save the city! Spoiler alert, we didn't save the city. 4 of us moved on to the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles arcade game, and even though I wasn't yet a Gen X grown-up, I played a few rounds of Tempest. Meanwhile, Jimmy slid into the seat of the enclosed Super Speed Race GPV cabinet. Hey guys, you say after you lose your last quarter, we only have a few minutes left. Now, I don't know about anyone else, but our little group has at least 3 things in mind when the clock ticks down to showtime. The first thing was, on a busy Friday like this, making sure we nudged our way to the front of the group headed to our theater so we wouldn't get stuck in the dreaded first row. Preferably, we wanted seats dead center, near the back, and all together. The longer you wait, the more impossible this task becomes. Second, we have to hit concessions. And finally, we don't want to miss the trailers. Yes, we actually want to watch the trailers. I'll go out on a limb and allow that there were probably people who would attempt to arrive after the trailers but before the movie. I say nuts to that. As a kid, the trailers were part of the experience for me, and sometimes even allowed us sneak peeks at movies that hadn't been advertised on television yet. But we'll get to all that soon enough. First, we better reserve our seats. The olds give us crooked looks as we push past them, but they can go suck an egg. We're young and spry, and no adults are going to ruin our night. The hallway to the theater is like a corridor to a spacecraft, readying to blast off to new worlds. The dim, almost eerie atmosphere we experienced in the lobby is even more pronounced now. We reach our destination and enter a large auditorium. The lights are still up and nothing has started playing on the screen, which means we are right on time. We pick out the perfect seats, then lay jackets across 3 of them and leave Jimmy, producer Tony, and Tiny Tony to hold the other 3. The rest of us take their orders and head back out to the lobby.
Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat.
Delicious things to eat.
The popcorn can't be beat. The sparkling drinks are just dandy. The chocolate bars and the candy. So let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat. Let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat.
The concession stand is bustling, but it's not too long of a wait. There are so many delicious snacks here, but remember, we have our smuggled goods too, so we stick to bags of popcorn, extra butter please, soda fountain drinks, Coke, Dr. Pepper, A&W root beer, and Sprite, and boxes of goobers to pour into the bags of popcorn.
Give us great tasting goobers to gobble, Gert. Guys and girls from Green Bay to Greenwich are going gaga about gobbling great tasting goobers.
I won't go without great tasting goobers to gobble.
Goobers are gorgeous golden peanuts in gobs and gobs of glorious Nestle milk chocolate. So the goobers you gobble taste gloriously great.
I'm goofy about gobbling great tasting goobers.
And goobers let you gobble gobs of great tasting goobers and still have goobers galore to gobble with the gang.
Golly, I go for guys who go for great tasting goobers.
Settled back in our seats, the lights dim, and we dig out all the contraband stuffed in our pockets. The screen flickers as the first of the trailers begin. We sit back, try not to eat all of our popcorn too soon, and see what the movie gods have to offer tonight.
2 tickets to California, please.
That's $226.
Well, we only have $27.30. What does that get us?
Nowhere.
Corey's taking his brother Jimmy on a ride.
These two boys already traveled more than 80 miles across the state.
But Jimmy's got a secret.
You got $50,000 on Double Dragon?
That could make this the ride of their lives.
Look at him. He's a wizard.
He's headed for the video championship.
This guy? What is that?
Power glove.
With a touch of romance.
I am not kissing a boy.
And a ton of trouble.
That's huge.
We're too late.
They'll get there any way they can.
Hey, here we come!
Now, it's going to take a lot of guts, a little magic, and the wizard, Fred Savage. The Wizard.
Ah, The Wizard, a perfect time capsule of the late 80s with all the Nintendo Entertainment System fanfare a kid could want. Even if critics dismiss it as nothing more than a feature-length Nintendo commercial, we know better. Somewhere in the middle of all those trailers, the movie theater reminds viewers to buy more snacks.
It's about 10 minutes to showtime. The concession stand is open and ready to serve you.
Once the main trailers ended, there is one last bit of movie theater magic that always gives me a chill of happiness because it means the movie is about to start and I'll soon be transported to a place of utter delight. Whether horror, action, comedy, science fiction, fantasy, or something else, we are at the movies. Each company has their own special pre-rolls, and the nostalgia you feel while watching these largely depends on what theaters you frequented as a kid. Little Tony's local theater in Brooklyn was The Lowe's, and those pre-rolls speak to him the most. Others might remember Cinemark or AMC pre-rolls more clearly. But wait, our pre-roll is about to start, and then it's on to the movie.
Welcome to Regal Cinemas. Refreshments are available in the lobby. And please, keep our theater clean by disposing of trash in specified containers. And remember, gift certificates are available for any special occasion. Enjoy the show.
A chill of excitement runs through you as the movie begins, and you fly through what first appears to be the Batcave as Danny Elfman's soon-to-be iconic theme song plays. When the intro ends, the camera pulls out to reveal you'd been touring the inside of the Batman logo. killer. Next, you arrive in Tim Burton's Gotham City for the first time, and it's unlike anything you've ever seen. Towering and congested, dark and foreboding, disparate architectural elements are mashed together with urban decay. It's a singular vision. You slide further down in your seat and shovel handfuls of popcorn into your mouth. The time for preserving your theater snacks is past. The sound system thunders all around you in a way that dinky home theater setup could never replicate, and the massive screen in front of you dwarfs your sad little 27-inch television at home. The Joker fills your entire field of vision. The Batmobile growls like a lion. Batman soars across the screen. The movie is so good that you barely notice the chatter coming from the little kids near the front. And when the person behind you kicks your seat as they readjust, it merely adds immersion into the fight scene playing out on screen. No, nothing can take away from the pure magic of this 1980s era theater experience. As the credits roll, you and your friends stick around, chatting excitedly about the movie even as the rest of the theater files out and the lights come back up. Young Jimmy, perhaps feeling extra cool in his Top Gun getup, suggests trying to sneak into one of the other movies already in progress, but Tiny Tony wusses out and says we really have to get back to the time machine. You agree. You've had fun, but we'd better get back to our adult bodies, back in our own time, before something goes terribly wrong. Still, you hold on to the ticket stub as a keepsake, knowing it will be the only thing left to prove this fantastic voyage actually happened and wasn't just a dream.
Welcome back, time traveler. Was the old movie experience everything you remembered it to be? I know I sure had a great time. There was just something a little extra special about the theater popcorn back then, and even though the seats weren't quite as luxurious as they are these days, and the screens weren't as big, and the projectors weren't digital, it all made for a somehow more authentic experience. Or maybe that's just the nostalgia talking. What do you think? Would you want to go back to the movie theaters of yesteryear? Or do you prefer the new deluxe theater experience with its tiered seating, 3D, XD, IMAX, Dolby Digital surround sound extravagance? I'd love to hear about it down in the comments, and if you enjoy our content, please consider liking this video, subscribing to the channel, and maybe even activating that ubiquitous notification bell. It really does make a huge difference. Let's meet again next week to celebrate yesteryear right here on RetroDaze.
Clicky clicky.